Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Check, check. Who's ready for Monday Live? You ready, Sammy?
I'm ready as spaghetti.
Let's go 3, 2, and you're live, and we're back.
Hey guys, big day today, Monday Live. Trump just became the president of the United States. All kinds of shit going on. I don't even know where to turn anymore.
What a beautiful, beautiful day it is.
It's a beautiful day. Now, the television is still on, and I tried to change the channel. It's an X-rated channel. Get this off, bro. I can't be doing this show and watching that. Put on
Lord Jesus, help.
Oh my God.
What are you feeling today? All the CEOs lined up in the back.
Yeah.
Lots of security for the guy. Let's go.
Oh my God, he's got a ton of security. They brought in, special. They have the Secret Service, but they brought in a ton of guys, military guys, who it's a different group altogether. And they were coming in. You could see, I was in the military. You could see the way they're coming off the plane with their backpacks and stuff, and about 20 of them, 30 of them. So this is a different group. This is better than the Secret Service. So I think hopefully he's safe. Everything was safe. Everything went well. I watched it this morning. We all watched it, my whole team. And so it's a great day. And then he made a speech about everything he's going to do. Unbelievable. It's, great.
Yeah.
And did you see, if you watched it, I don't know if you saw President Biden and Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
Sitting there like zombies. I mean,
Disgraceful.
This is crazy.
Terrible. Now he did say that he's declaring war on this cartels, and we are in Arizona. We are on a border. We're in a border state. Sammy, what are your thoughts on that?
No, I think it's good. Listen, I remember back when I was young and I was in the mafia, and that was his name. Reagan became the president. He was going to go to war against the mob. And different laws were created. He was putting up $500 million. You can't fuck with the government. When they want to come after you, they come after you. Now, he declared them as a terrorist group, and that's another big thing. That means he can use the military against them, stuff like that. These guys are not, they should know what's to be careful or back away from what they normally do. If you have military and Secret Service and people like that coming down after you, CIA guys, you're in trouble, bro. They'll take you the fuck out. They don't care what Mexico says or who says what. These cartel guys, they better watch their ass.
Yeah. There was a clip on the Sean Ryan show where he talks to all of these retired military guys, and they said there's no competition. If the U.S. gets involved and Trump does what he said he was going to do, and he is doing it today, it's like the special ops and all those groups are so elite and so highly trained.
You can't beat them. I mean, they practice every day. They're trained. They're all in great shape. These are even special. These are not regular military guys. These are special ops guys. These guys will take you out.
You said something very insightful before we went live, Sammy. You said that this is the end of all that crime, and you kind of used the analogy of your time in the mafia and when you knew it was time to. You foresaw some of this closing up shop.
Like I said, Reagan made these same type of speeches. They didn't come down and kill us, but they broke our ass in every way, which way. And then these people, the president could talk to the president of Mexico. If Mexico joins the special ops, these guys are finished. They might be tough. They might be able to shoot somebody. You're no match for these guys. They'll eat you alive. You know, when Trump was in, he met with a terrorist. He wanted to take his guys out. And he says, if my guys, if one hair is hurt on their head, I'll make this place a parking lot. Then he took out a picture and he showed the guy, the boss. He said, this is your house. I can get rid of that and your family and you in 2 seconds. It's scary because they can do that. So these cartel guys, you're sitting in your house, they could take you out in 2 seconds. You know, this is the highest end of, you know, a threat that you can get. This isn't another gang and there's going to be a little bit of a war between you guys and shoot each other a little bit. These guys will just wipe you out.
Yeah.
And know who you are, where you live.
That's gangster.
That's gangster, bro. That's straight up as high up gangster as you can get.
And there was some reports minutes after he was sworn in that they shut down the immigration app.
Yeah, listen, the way he talked great. He made some big moves that he's going to make. If he's not stopped, I mean, he's going to change this country around in a very big way. And it's going to be beneficial for everyone. Every religion, every nationality, every race, men and women. He's going to change this country for the better. And I predicted that a while ago. I said he's going for a legacy. He wants to be the best president that ever lived. And if he could change this country around from where it went under Biden, and I mean, that's exactly what he's going to become. I think he has the capabilities and the balls to do it. You're not going to hold him back or hold him down. And all the liberal elites, they better get used to no more stealing. Look what Biden did. He pardoned his whole family.
Unbelievable.
Fauci. This guy's got so much blood on his hands. It's not a couple of people. It's millions of people died because of him and his little funding that thing in China. And he was dead. He pardoned him too. That's a total disgrace. And when he's pardoning his brothers, his sisters, Biden's brothers, sisters, everybody, they were all guilty. You know, why would you pardon them if they didn't do anything? So it's so obvious now, and I'm sure the media will dig into that. They look like two zombies sitting there, Biden and Kamala Harris, because he didn't even hold back. He just said exactly what they did. He's going to stop the border, close the border, stop this invasion of the country. I mean, how would you feel if you were Kamala Harris or Biden? See, I know I would be melting in my chair. So, and it looked like they were.
Oh yeah.
They had a terrible face on. They weren't clapping for him. They weren't doing nothing. But it looked like they were in total shock. Because the country is going to finally know, and this is to you Democrats all over the place, and I have a lot of Democratic friends. Some of them are already changed to becoming a Republican. I mean, this is what you voted for. This is what you had in. It's all coming to the surface. You know, I was knocking Fauci, and people were telling me, Sammy, he's Italian. I don't give a fuck he's Italian.
Right.
What do I care? I know he's doing the wrong thing. I know he's lying through his teeth. Why should I like him? Because he's Italian? No, that's not the way it works in the real world. And if it works for you like that, no matter what you see, what they did, and you're a Democrat, if you're still a Democrat, then you're out of your mind. Something's wrong with you.
Now, I know we were talking about Trump's kids as we were watching this inauguration. My question to you, Sammy, is what do you think was going through Barron Trump's mind with the liberal elites to the left of him that tried to kill my dad, this country's gone to shit, my home was raided, my bedroom, my most personal space of my mother?
He had all those thoughts in his head. He probably hates them. But I think that what I saw on his face is that he was so proud of his father. I mean, that kid is going to be a great kid. He's got a great dad. He's got a great mother, brothers, sisters. Everybody, he's went to great schools. And And he seems like a good kid and a smart kid. So I think he's got a great future. And he's got to be so proud of his father right now. I think that's what I read on his face. A couple of times, a little smile. And I know I would be. If it was my father, I would be on another planet.
And he went up and took the initiative to go shake Biden's hand and then Kamala Harris's hand and look him in the eye and, all right.
Oh, Biden?
Barron.
Trump. Oh, Barron.
Barron Trump.
Yeah. So Trump's kids are so well trained, so well mannered, so educated that's them. He's a good kid. Someday maybe he'll be a politician if he wants. Yeah. And I think he would make a great politician. He's coming from a great bloodline of understanding what's going on.
Amazing.
I could only imagine how much this kid, understands life and understands things as a kid.
Yeah.
They got to make a special thing in the White House. He'll bang his head walking in the door. And he's a big kid. He was about 6'7", 6'8", or some shit.
Yeah, they got to do some shackifying to the White House. All right, guys, I'm going to hand it off to Amina to get into last week's questions.
Hey guys, happy Monday, getting the week off started right. You want to jump into the questions, Sammy?
Let's go.
All right, the first one is from Jimmy Gorgeous. He said, who made Carlo Gambino over everyone?
Nobody made him over everyone. He made himself. He was smart. He was loved. He was respected. And that's what happens. Nobody makes you. It's what you make yourself. It's what you make of yourself. And everybody respected him, loved him, trusted him, just like we're talking about Trump. And the mob made him. The Gambino family, well, it wasn't Gambino because it was under him, but it was originally Anastasia. And when Anastasia was killed, he had Tommy Rava killed, and he took over. And everybody loved him and trusted him and put him in that place.
Okay, we have Mike, New York City. Frank Fiordolino said on his podcast that you were in prison with him and Frank Salemi?
Salemi.
Salemi. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Frank Salemi was, for a while, he was the boss of the Boston family, and he got pinched. He was doing time. I was in MCC, and he was there, and I met with him. I talked with him. He was older than me. Nice guy. And Frank, what's his name? Frank what?
Salemi?
No, the guy I was with.
Oh, Fiordolino?
Fiordolino. I don't recall the last name, Frank. I mean, if you could tell me if you had a nickname or something, and But yeah, I was there with you.
Okay.
And Salemi.
Mark wants to know, he says, Dear Sammy, do you say it should have stayed 100% Italian membership, father and mother? Or would that have made it better?
I think so. Here's why. I'll give you the reason why. You have an Italian father and an Italian mother. You're having an Italian background and understanding of everything. When you marry a Jewish girl. Now, I'm the son. I'm growing up under Italian, let's say Sicilian father and a Jewish mother. You can't say that her likes and dislikes doesn't rub off on me. That's stupid. You just don't. You can't say it. I'll give you another thing. I was at Paul Castellano's house one year, right before Christmas, the holidays, and his family came in and they were coming in, and some of the kids ran right over to the grandmother, the mom, Paul's wife. And the grandmother stopped them and said, no, baby. Here's how you grow up. You go to grandpa first, kiss him on both cheeks, give him a hug, then you come to grandma, be waiting for you. See, they're taught as kids. That's an Italian, a Sicilian heritage. Now, if you get a Jewish woman out, and I could be anybody, a Mexican woman, whoever it may be, She may tell the kid, grab the kid, hug the kid. The Italians teach our heritage. So I think that when you really become a mafia guy, heritage is very, very important. So you don't want to go to a sit down with a yarmulke on. And if your father or your mother's gay, you don't want to come there dressed in a skirt. So what you learn from your mother and your father, sometimes differently, but your heritage means something. And I believe that it's not a knock to anybody. If Jewish people marry Jewish people, they both believe a certain way. If Mexican people, a Mexican man and a Mexican woman, they believe in their heritage in a certain way. It's you know, it takes into the kid. So in the mafia, we want the kid to think heritage, Italian, Sicilian, be proud of it. Now, you know, they let it go because firstborns married into a lot of different religions and races and different things, but you can't say that don't have an effect. Because your mother is there, she gives birth to you when you're sick, when you're in trouble, when you need to learn how to read or write or something, you're having problems. Who do you go to? You don't go to your dad, you go to your mother. So you can't say that the mother don't have a bearing on the person. So he's not the same as somebody who's born with an Italian mother and father. And it's no knock to anybody else. Me, I got everybody. Biracial, Mexicans, I got every fucking thing in my family except for Chinese. And and I really want somebody in my family to marry somebody who's Chinese or something. So at the parties, Christmas time, pass me pass me the steak, pass me chicken with watermelon, pass me, you know, chop suey, you know, so I don't know what the fuck to eat. So heritage has a lot to do with all of that. There's nothing wrong with it. My whole family's mixed. But in the mafia, you want to have that heritage pounded into you.
Okay, next one. To Chuck Wu says, if Sammy felt a weird vibe from Danny Marino and Jimmy Brown after Frankie DeChico got blown up, why didn't he take it up with John and whack them?
I did take it up with John. I told him I got a vibe from them, but we're not going to kill a couple of guys, important guys in the family. Both of them were captains. We're not going to kill two captains on a vibe, on a feeling. We want to be more sure. So it never really came out, but years later, what the thing was is that Gas Pipe had talked with Jimmy Brown and Joe Butch, Danny Marino, I'm sorry, and said that they were told that something was going to happen. Now, and that if they kept quiet, Jimmy Brown would put him as a boss. Now, I don't blame them for want to put him as a boss because he's a cunt, and he's, you tell him what to do, he'll do it. It's almost like Biden. But anyway, but we didn't make a move. We found out later that Gas Pipe had spoke to them. Now, if he would have came back to us and said, Gas Pipe threw me a line, I think it's coming from Chin, something's going to happen. We might not have went to that car that day. Everything might have changed. I don't know. Maybe nothing would have changed. I don't know. But you have the responsibility to come and say, bro, I just got a buzz. I think Gas Pipe passed by and ran us a line that, you know, I could be the boss. Fuck being the boss. I think they're going to make a move on you. He didn't do that. And when the explosion happened, and I went back across the street to get somebody and whatever, the look on their face, I just knew it wasn't normal. It wasn't fear. It was a different kind of fear. It was like a guilt or something.
Okay, John Ulrich says, If you would have grown up in the Midwest, would you have become a doctor or an entrepreneur? Or would you have always found the dark side?
I would have probably been a fucking cowboy. Riding horses and riding bulls and banking cowgirls, I guess. I don't know what I would have been, but I think I would have been, personality-wise, the same as I am now, but I would have been something else, not in the mafia probably. You know, I always say that you're a product of your environment. A lot of your family, but mostly your environment. I say a lot of times you go up to Montana or places like that, the kids have a place they all go hang out and play, and most of them go to college. So if you don't go to college, you're like you're an outcast. So they all go to college. I grew up in a neighborhood, and most of us in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, or Bronx, or wherever that's infested with the mafia, and that's what you look up to, that's what you grow with, and that's what you'll become. I go to black people going to, dominantly bad neighborhoods and mostly drug dealers and pimps. What do you expect the kids to grow up as? They look up to them, they'll see a drug dealer with beautiful cars, beautiful women, tons of money. It'll impress them. So you're a product, I think, a good part of your environment makes you what you are.
Twin Lucky's in the chat and says, I'll be Chinese if need be.
So we can eat wonton soup.
Actually, here's a good question from Dave in Pittsburgh. He says, Sammy, is it true that John didn't attend Frankie DeChico's funeral? And if so, what did the family think? And what was different than what Paul did when Tato passed?
I'm not sure what happened when Tato passed because I wasn't around anymore. I'm sure a lot of people went to his wake. I'm not sure if John didn't go to Frankie DeChico's wake. He didn't go the same day I went, and I didn't go to certain parts of it. He had a problem getting him to the church, and I know that much. And so I don't know if he didn't attend. I don't remember.
Juan Valentin says, first, I'd like to congratulate Sammy and the whole team on the new HBO show. My question is, I understand that in the life, once a murder is committed, you're never supposed to bring it up again. So what I want to know is, why was Gotti talking about it upstairs? Why didn't other wise guys that were around him get suspicious of him when he was talking? And also, John Gotti mentioned that he broke Joe Watts' cherry, meaning that he took him to do his first piece of work. Again, he's bringing up murders. Any truth to this?
Let me answer that in different parts. First part, give me the first part again, and I'll give you the answers,
Okay.
one by one.
Sure. The first one was that you're never supposed to talk about murder.
Yes. Let me answer it. I got it.
Okay.
You're never supposed to talk about murders. Why was he talking about murders in that apartment? Only God knows. It's the fucking dumbest thing in the world, and it destroyed us all. So what was the second part of that?
Why didn't the other wise guys around him get suspicious of him talking about it?
Well, they didn't know what he was doing. He's a boss. So he could do almost anything he wants, unquestioned by people. Some people didn't like it. I didn't like it, but I did it because he's the boss. Anytime I've been up that apartment quite a few times talking about bullshit, who's going to get made or what's going to happen. It's not the biggest thing to get caught on tape with. But anything violent or anything big, we would take a walk. I would insist on taking a walk. I would tell him, John, hold up, bro. Come on, let's go take a walk. This is too, we're not supposed to talk about this. Let's not do it. But I wasn't there when those main conversations happened with Frankie DeChico, or with Frankie Locascio. I wasn't there. Believe me, not that I'm a tough guy, but I would have stopped those conversations. But I wouldn't have heard it because it was about me. He was talking behind my back, and he got caught. So I agree with you. You're not supposed to talk about things like that. You know, when I had my club with my guys, I would sit there and somebody would want to talk to me about something. We talked about bullshit. Oh, you see Lefty Louie's wife? Yeah. Oh, what a fucking ass she's got. Gorgeous. So you hear stupid shit like that. But if there was anything serious, my guys would come over, Sammy, squeeze my arm, and say, Sammy, let's talk. When they squeezed my arm, I shut my mouth, got up, and said, let's go. I knew it was something serious. So that was my rule. If you had something to say to me that was serious, grab my arm, even if I'm talking to somebody. If it's really important, grab my arm, squeeze my arm, I get up. I'm always concerned with bugs. My place was found with 8,000 or 9,000 hours of bugs, because they had bugs all over the place on me. No bug, not 1 minute of any bug was used against me, my crew, or anybody else, or in any case. Because like I said, the things you would hear is about a football game, a baseball game, I lost 20,000, I bet here, I did this, oh, that girl is gorgeous. That bullshit, that's what you would hear. Guys bullshitting with each other. Not too exciting, really. Funny in some cases, but not too exciting.
Okay, and then do you want to touch on the last comment about Joe Watts?
Yeah, that John broke his cherry. No, Joe Watts did work before he was hanging with John, maybe even before he even knew him. Joe Watts was a serious dude, did work his whole life. He was a German. He couldn't get made. He wasn't Italian on his father's end. But he was a tough guy, a hit guy, and he got tremendous respect for a guy who never got made. I mean, he was respected by everybody, even guys in other families. He's a dangerous dude. So I don't think John broke his cherry, not by a long shot.
Okay, and the last comment I have is from Italian guy. I don't know if we touched on this last time, but he says, would you talk about Old Man Peruta?
Would I talk about him?
Like, just tell a story.
I always talk about him. I mean, I have a long story that I can put out. I'm going to put out again. I did it once a while ago, and I'm going to put it out. But the Old Man Peruta was a great guy, dry sense of humor. Everybody loved him. Tough as, we called him the Old Man Peruta. He wasn't that old. He was always disheveled. He looked old, but he wasn't that old. When he died, I believe he was 59 years old. I loved him. I'm still friends with his family. The story when he got cancer, that's the story. I'm going to put it out again. I did a long story about it. If I could find it, I'll put it out for you. You can hear it. It's a great story. Got tons of hits. And it choked me up to even tell the story. It was a great story about him. He was a man's man in every way, shape, and form. His wife, I loved his wife, his kids, his daughter. It was great.
Okay, turning it over to Anna.
Thank you. Steve Jackson is asking, Sammy, where would the Mafia get its guns? And where did you and your crew get yours if you needed new ones?
Guns were all over the place. Guns came in, from other countries and places like that. I don't remember ever having a shortage of guns. We even had an Israeli submachine gun. So we had shotguns, pistols. They were all over the place. You could get them anywhere. You could buy them from other countries, Mexico. The people bought stuff in Mexico, smuggled them in. Other countries even further yet. There was never a shortage of guns. We had so many, we didn't even know where to hide them anymore. So.
That scene in The Irishman where he tosses his gun in the water over the bridge.
Yeah.
Would a lot of guns go into the ocean after?
Absolutely. On my first hit, I did with Joe Colucci. On the way home, we stopped at the ocean, and I flung it into the ocean. Now, here's the reason why. I wasn't wearing gloves. My fingerprints are all over the gun. My fingerprints are probably on the bullets. So I fling it over into salt water in the ocean. The salt water eats up oils. So it lays in there a while. Even someday, first of all, who's going to find it? It's 15, 20 feet below the water and it's on the sand. Even if somebody hooked it up by accident, there's nothing, there's salt and there's no fingerprints, there's no nothing. So after I used the gun like that in a violent way, I always got rid of the gun, never kept it. You never want to get caught with that gun because the ballistics on the gun, the bullet goes through the barrel, it spins around, hits the body, they take the bullet out. They could put that together, ballistics could put that together with that particular gun and the rest of the bullets that are in there, it's a match, you're dead. It's not worth it. You get rid of the gun, and I would get rid of everything when I did a hit. Gun, hat, shirt, jacket, pants, underwear, t-shirt, socks, shoes, everything went. Because you never know if you're going to leave some sort of ballistics behind. So anything and everything I had, I got rid of.
Nice, thank you. Mark in the super chat, Sammy, I thought that all the 5 families were equal in power.
They're supposed to be equal in power as far as a boss. There's a commission, each guy's a boss and he's equal. But there's families that had more guys, more powerful guys. Certain families control different things that gave them more power, like unions and stuff like that. Some families, like the Gravano family, most of them did drugs, sold drugs, and that type of business. They made a lot of money, but I would say the Gambino family and the Genovese family were the most powerful, and they were the biggest. When we had over 300 made members in the Genovese and the Gambino. The other families, I think, the Colombo, I was there too, they had about 125. The Lucchese's had 100 and change, and the Bananas had 100 and change. So you could see we were triple the size. Now, that's just made guys. So the made guys all have associates. So if you times 10 associates or 100 associates to each family, each guy, obviously, if you're 100 times 20 guys, you have 2,000 people. Mm-hmm. You're 20 times 300 guys, you got 6,000 people. So they're more powerful. And
wow.
That's just, I think the size of it and the quality of the people. Gambino was a boss of bosses. After the hit, and he took over the family, every boss respected him. He was very, very smart, very shrewd, and a good person. So they weren't intimidated by him. Some bosses go in, they intimidate everybody. John Gotti he was loved for a while. He became hated because of his flamboyant size. He showed everything. I'm the boss, and I'm the best dresser, and I got the biggest diamond pinky ring, and he destroyed so many people's lives, and we're never supposed to do that. I'll give you an example. Carlo Gambino had an old beat-up car. He had a house in Long Island, and he had an apartment on Ocean Parkway in Brooklyn. And he'd come in with his car and park his car in a thing, and it was an old car. And the sons bought him a car, a brand new Cadillac, beautiful. Thanked his sons. He drove the car for a day or two, sent for his sons. He brought his sons in, he says, get rid of this car. They said, why? It's beautiful. He said, that's why. It's beautiful. People look at me in the street with this car. We're a secret society. I'm an old man. I shouldn't be driving with such a beautiful car. Get rid of it, I told you, and get me an old car. It's just what they did. They got rid of the car. They got not an old car, but a more beat-up car, like he was more comfortable in. Because that's what he's supposed to. He probably loved the caddy, but it drew too much attention. Now, John Gotti was just the opposite. Brand new Mercedes, no dust on the car, in the car, everything is glowing. He's glowing, $2,000 Brioni suit, $200 hand-painted tie, 5-carat pinky ring. I never even bought a girl a fucking 5-carat diamond pinky ring. Mine is a carat and something. You could see it, 1 carat and something. That's good enough. Well, shiny, it's nice. 5 carats? I'd be embarrassed to wear a 5-carat pinky ring. And so John did the total opposite. They did shows on Netflix, what not to be when you're a boss, and they crucified John. Not me, it's them. They crucified him. Everything you're not supposed to do, he did. And that's how he hurt and destroyed the mob.
Gianna Gambino, salute, Sammy. You got the best crew, especially my girl Amina. Loves you all.
See, now you said, especially Amina. Now, she's going to be a pain in the ass all day. She wants to go home early. Wait a minute, I'm the best. No, she is the best.
Artie Wells, Sammy, much love from Houston. Can I hear you say Trump? It's a beautiful thing.
Trump. Trump is a good man. Listen, I'm on a high right now. Yeah. I think not so much for me. I'm pushing 80 years old. But for my children, my grandchildren, my friends, neighbors, everybody's going to benefit with him. You watch. He's bent on making this country beautiful and good again. And he doesn't care. He's not a racist. He's nothing. He's just a plain guy. He loves everybody or he hates everybody. It's either dislikes you or likes you. But it has nothing to do with whether he obviously likes women. So everybody says he didn't like women. Look at him. He's got nothing but women he's picked to run very important places. Yeah. That Pam Monday, I saw her. I like her. She's tough as nails. I saw her in the debate. They don't want her in. And she fought them off like, forget about it, in her back pocket. So you can't say, I mean, they try to belittle him to everybody, make women hate him. Listen, he did some sexual bullshits. So does everybody, men and women. Who cares? Yeah. I don't care about that. I care about what he's going to do with the country and how he's going to make people better. I go into restaurants and things, luncheonettes to eat, and people bust their ass. They work. Now, he turned around and says, I'm going to, on their tips, I'm not going to say they don't have to pay taxes on that. That is such a beautiful move. Look how many people who work so hard in those restaurants, and they make however much they make, and they got to pay tax. Now they got that. That's clear. So that's a beautiful thing, and that's him. He'll come up with these things. Guaranteed, he's going to go on a parade. He'll wind up driving a garbage truck. Mm-hmm. The guy's crazy. He does crazy things, and I love him. He's the only president who does things and make me laugh. Look at that dance now. He's got the whole world dancing like that with the boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, he's got a sense of humor.
He's got a sense of humor. He's tough. He cares about the country, the flag. He really does. Yeah. So, and I think he's going to turn the country around. He's walking into a mess what Biden and Kamala Harris did in 4 years. I've never seen a country go down a tube so fast. I hope he has enough time to make it better than it even was. And it sounds like that. Listen, today he won today. And he made all kinds of speeches right in front of them. He's a ballsy guy too. I mean, he does what he says. He says what he does, and he does what he says. He don't bullshit. You may not like the way he says it or whatever, but whether you like him or you don't like him, look at the policies and watch what he does. And he's not racist. He's not against women. All that crap, that was just to hurt him. I mean, he was shot once, shot at a second time when they caught the guy in the bush. And like he says, he's still here, pumping away. I mean, a lot of people will be afraid to run again. I got away with it. Let me get away. Mm-hmm. Not him. And I like what he said. God saved him. And I believe that too. I've become a little religious in my older life. I became a born-again Christian. And I believe that God saved him, and saved him for a reason. He needed him to save this country.
RG, Sammy, do mobsters hide or bury their money so that if they get arrested and have their possessions taken, their families can have the money?
Yeah. Yeah, some of them bury it, some of them hide it. I mean, I had a couple of stashes in my house, a safe built into the wall. You never know it was there. You had to pull a board up to go up and down and sideways. And my wife knew about it. My kids didn't know about it because they have sticky fingers. So
the ice cream man comes and...
Yeah. So, they hide it. You know, I don't know. Let me tell you this little quick story. Is that, you know, a friend of mine is a May guy, and he takes care of his uncle and cleans up the garden. They, all Italians, we love to grow tomatoes and this and that and all kinds of stuff. So he goes to jail. And the uncle talks to him on the phone, and he says, Bobby, when you were here, you used to, shovel the dirt and turn the dirt over, and I could plant and this and that and the other thing. And now you're in prison. And the dirt got hard as a rock. And I'm old, and I'm having trouble doing that. So Bobby says, listen, Unc, listen to me. Don't do anything. Don't turn the dirt over. Don't dig. Why? I want to plant. No, don't listen to me. There's guys buried in the backyard now. Don't do nothing. So the guy says, okay, Bobby. And 2 days later, 3 days later, they talk. And he talks to her. He says, Bobby, the day you told me not to do anything, the next day the FBI was here. They dug the whole place up. And there was no dead bodies. He says, that's the best I could do for you, Unc, while I'm in jail.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo.
I like that one.
I like it too.
Let's see. GascanLip is in the super chat. In true boss fashion, Sammy, can you please give America's enemies on this historic inauguration day a mobster's warning from America's own The Bull?
Yeah. Listen, I gave a legitimate warning this morning to the cartels. He declared them a terrorist group. That gives the country a lot of power. He could actually send them in to Mexico and kill them. He can go after them. The country, when you're dealing, you're a tough guy, you shoot guys, you're in a gang, you're in a mob. When you're fucking with a government like that, Secret Service guys, CIA guys, military guys. I mean, he threatened one of those in a Muslim country. He says, my people got to get out. If one hair on their head is touched, here's what I'm going to do. And he gives the guy a picture of his house. And he tells him, that's your house. Where you live with your family. One family, one soldier goes. You, that house, and your family go. And they have that power. They actually have that kind of power. You can't fuck with that kind of power. Cartels can't fuck with that kind of power. If I was a cartel guy right now, I would hear what he said. And if Mexico goes along with him, they could take you out in 2 seconds. You don't stand a fucking chance. Better watch what you do. That's my advice to cartels right now. You made a lot of money, bringing people in and out, drugs, all that shit. Better back the fuck up. You're going to see things that you will be shocked. They could send a bomb. We're in this house right now doing this. They could send a missile over here perfectly. This house would non-exist in a matter of hours. The cameras, me, Anna, Amina, we were gone. We're gone. The dogs, everything's gone. They have that kind of power. Yeah. My advice to the cartels right now, back the fuck up, bro. This guy's a serious dude. He's not going to take that kind of shit. Back up. So that's my threat, is that you're dealing with he's a true gangster, and he'll do it. He's done it before, and he'll do it again. You heard him talk. You heard him what he said. You're a terrorist group. That's another whole label now. They could come after you with the military. And he will. So my advice to you guys, my threat to you, is not that I'm going to bother you, but he will. And I'm rooting for him. Because some of the things that some of you are doing, I've got so many Mexican friends. Some of the people working for me, and there's Mexicans. I love Mexicans. I worked with Mexicans. They're good people. But you guys, bro, back the fuck up. Get out of the way. I'm not rooting for you. So.
A follow-up question from GascanLip is asking, can you please tell my ex, who thinks she caught your Goombada GascanLip cheating, that the long hair on my down comforter really belongs to a golden retriever?
Guess kid, you're busted, bro.
Hey,
I tried that once, it didn't work. And I had a golden retriever, and I didn't get away with it. So I don't know what to tell her.
MarshallG says, I became a Christian too, boss. Only one complaint was that the water they dunked me in was cold. Also, you should start a church. The donations would be tax-free. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
Mwah.
No, it's a bad way to start. You're going to be robbing. That's a bad way to start.
Tyson C. in the super chat, what were some secret signs or methods the mafia used to communicate?
Instead of saying no, I would go, hey. Vafango. So there's a lot of things you would say. I guess you don't want to do that.
That's a universal. Well, you guys did the walk and talks and the
walk and talk. We held our mouth. You know why we held our mouth? It goes over the airwaves, and they can pick it up with a microphone. But when you put your hand like that, your breath, your voice hits your hand. It breaks it's done. It can't get picked up. And you always got to watch what you say. And now John Gotti taught us that lesson too. He fucking wrecked the mob just by talking in an apartment where he wasn't supposed to be talking. So get off your ass and go take a walk talk. Places you haven't been, you know. I go in a park and I play with the kids in the park and the guy wants to talk to me. I don't just walk 2 feet away from the park. We're creatures of habit. If you're always going there, that's what they'll bug. We would go outside and lean against the parking meter and talk. The agents see it. After a while, they put a bug in the parking meter, and you're sitting right on the fucking thing. So take a walk. Don't do what you normally do. We're creatures of habit. They see it, they study it, they watch you, and that's where the bug is going to be. Don't talk in your car. Don't talk in your house or places or clubs. Take a walk. You know, always think that somebody could be listening. Don't talk on your phone. They could be bugged. And the hardest thing to fight is a bug. Your own voice saying what you did. And that's what John Gotti did. He gave them tapes. And saying what I was doing, what Frankie Lacasio was doing. And we all got pinched.
New member Sarah Kay is asking, is there a mob family in every state in the USA?
No, not really. There was a lot of states, but not every state. I can't pick out, you know, but a lot of the big states, Florida and New York and New Jersey and Connecticut and, you know, Boston, Massachusetts, certain areas, there was mafia in a lot of places, but not every state, no.
JC in the super chat, any information about the corporation in Upper Manhattan?
What corporation?
JC, can you expand on that? Just as the corporation. J. Marie is asking, was there ever an instance that someone disrespected the boss and was punished for it? And what are your thoughts about someone who does that?
Well, if you disrespect a boss, I mean, I know in an incident that one of the guys, a maid guy from another family, was saying shit about John Gotti behind his back. He talked to me about it, and I believe the guy was in the Gravano family, and he was going to talk to Joe Messina, and I said, and what are you going to do? He said, I'm going to ask him to kill him. I said, John, didn't we always talk about growing up about guys, you know what I mean, bosses, and yeah, we Joe, fat ass or this or that, big nose, come on, we always made jokes. So they made a joke about you, like, but you didn't want to hear it. And the banana people killed the guy, and he was a maid guy. I don't think that's necessary. Like I said, I mean, when I remember being young, Nazambique, meaning a big nose, we would refer to Paul or this guy or that guy, Jelly Belly or this guy. Everybody had some sort of stupid nickname. Me, the Bull. I didn't like that name for a long time. I don't even like it now. But people make a joke about it or call you something or whatever. It's a joke, bro. You could call him in and punish him and give him a blasting and stuff. You're talking about a boss. Yeah. Don't. And watch what you say. But we always joke with each other. I don't think a boss should get that sensitive over a bullshit thing like that. To me, that's a bullshit thing. There's things in a life you need a good conversation, and there's things in life that you deserve to die. I think my son on his show said when he was growing up, heard about things that I did, and how did that affect you? And my son answered perfectly. He says, didn't affect me at all. I know my father's a good man. I know my father, if they killed somebody, the guy either broke the rules or did something bad, the guy was a bad guy. So it didn't affect him. And generally, that's what happens. Sometimes people kill people over money or something, but that's not the norm. The norm is if you break the rules, like I broke the rules when I left, if I got killed, I told my kids, don't blame the guy who killed me, I broke the rules, somebody gave him an order to do it. Just disregard it. I lived by the gun, and I died by the gun. Mind your business. Has nothing to do with nothing or nobody. Has to do with what I did. So, murder is a thing that, like a child molester was in our neighborhood or a rapist or something, and we would kill him. And I think it's understandable. Even law enforcement, when you get arrested for it, they kind of understand it. They didn't like him either.
Yeah.
So.
No one wants to get their hands dirty, but then they point the finger at the ones that clean up the neighborhood.
Right.
J.B. Weld has a quote from Tony Accardo. A fish that seems with his mouth closed never gets caught, swims. I think he meant swims. A fish that swims with his mouth closed never gets caught. Right.
Or a finger up your ass. So there's a lot of these crazy quotes. Don't open your mouth unless you're in a dentist's office.
Keep the finger in your ass.
So.
Awesome. I think we covered the super chats. Janet is asking, is that little Lily running around pitter-pattering on the floor?
That's little Lily running around. She loves the shows. Then she runs around, she gets a spot, and she lays down, and she listens with all the cameras, the lights, the whole thing. And then she gets up and runs around again. That's her.
Oh, J.B. Weld with a very generous envelope. Thank you, Amina. Remember that scene in Forrest Gump when the guys started messing up the audio while Forrest was speaking at the National Mall? That's what happened to Carrie Underwood today at the inauguration. Guarantee it was a libtard staffer.
Probably. Carrie's great. I like her a lot. She came from Arizona, and I think she was robbed once or twice. But she's on his staff now. I hope she's approved. She's very, very good, very talented woman. And she was originally a news person. And one time there was an open mic, and somebody offered her money to do something. She said, "Money's not important. The country's more important."
Yeah.
Now, how could you not hire a person like that?
Yeah. I think he's talking about the singer, the country singer, Carrie Underwood.
Oh, Underwood.
When she had to sing a cappella at the last second. Like J-Lo could never.
No.
Jennifer Lopez, she sang at the Biden's inauguration, but they were lip syncing. Can you imagine if the backtracks went
Yeah,
out?
I'm surprised. I like Carrie Underwood.
Carrie's
I think she's
great.
better looking in age. She looks great. She sounded great.
Yeah.
I really like her.
It's a true artist.
Yeah, I thought he was talking about the other one,
Oh, Carrie Lake.
Carrie Lake.
Yeah, she's great. Absolutely. Sammy, I'm going to wrap up with the last question for you. They said the JFK files are going to be released.
They are. They are. And when I do the history of the mafia, I was talking about it this morning. I'm going to get all that information when those files are released. And everything I know, everything Tato knew, and when I do the history of the mafia, I'm going to blow people away. I'm going to show exactly what that is, what happened. I know a lot about it. I'm not involved in it, but I do know a lot about it.
Yeah.
I know people who were involved in it. And when I get those files, I'm going to put what I know and those files together. That's going to be one of my major stories inside the history of the mafia.
Yeah. A lot of dots to connect. They're there.
They're there. They're there. I talked about it with Patrick David, know a guy who knows a lot about it, and we went to dinner. Patrick David, me and Anna and this guy, and he was talking, I was talking, and he went, "Wow, Sammy, you really, you know a lot about this." I said I did. I did know a lot about it. One time I had an appointment when I was with the government, and they told me some heavyweights are going to come down. And they came down and suits, and they wanted to talk to me. And the question was, "Sammy, tell us what you know about the JFK hit." I thought they were FBI agents. So I said, "Are you guys kidding or what? You guys did it with the vice president and some mob guys, and they stopped me cold. No more." They turned to the agents and they said, "This meeting never happened. Scrub it." And they left. I said, "What'd they get so pissed off about?" Well, you know, I said, "They're you guys, right? They were government, they're FBI." He said, "No, Sammy, they're not FBI. We told you, we didn't tell you who they are. We told you they're heavyweights. They're the CIA." Oh, so when I told them it's you guys, I hit a button that was incredible. So I know a lot about it, and a lot of it came from Carlo Gambino to Tato to me. I can't wait for these things to be released. And that's good for Bobby Kennedy. That's his uncle.
Oh, yeah.
His father was killed. His father was different than John Kennedy.
Right.
But I can't wait to get my hands on those things.
Absolutely. Can we please get a shout out for probably one of your biggest fans in the chat after Janet and PA? Christopher Mormon is dying for a shout out, Sammy.
Christopher Mormon. Yo! Is that a shout?
Chrissy, baby. Christopher.
All right.
Let's see. Shout out to Betty Ann, please.
Hey, Betty Ann. I was about to say you're one of your favorite people. I was going to say Betty, and then you say Christopher. She's my girl.
Absolutely. She's so pumped about the inauguration. I almost forgot about you, Sammy, today. Oh.
Uh-oh, over Trump?
That's okay. We'll take it. That's okay. Let's see. Yes, everybody go sign up for Patreon. The family Zoom is going to be at the end of the month. And also, speaking of JFK, Sammy, you did sit down with DYER, and I can put that link in the chat. And that's probably where you'll pick up off when these things get released. What an incredible conversation you had with him.
What was that? Pick up.
Got to pick up Pocketto too. Just kidding. You had a fascinating conversation with DYER.
Yeah.
He's very articulate about those things.
He does a lot of research to it. He does great research. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Let's see where it goes. I think he's signing about 200 executive orders today. Trump.
He's going to start from day one. He already started when he was in that meeting there saying what he's doing. And he's not going to say that openly without doing it. So you know he's going to do all those things.
Absolutely.
That he talked about. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Finally.
Here we go.
Here we go. Have some fun. And I'm going to tell him too, before I wrap it up, Trump, watch your back, bro. Watch your back. These fucking people, they don't like giving shit up. Their greed is intense. So watch your back. Because all the robbing and stealing that they're going to do or been doing, that's going to come to an end. And I hope the news media investigates these last pardons that he did. Fauci, his whole family. The guilt is so evident. They're not even arrested and you're giving them a pardon because you know that they're guilty and you know they will be arrested. So you gave them a pardon ahead of time. What a move, boy. What a move. Call me a gangster. And do shit like that, well, that's a gangster move. So they're going to get away with everything they robbed. That's incredible. He pardoned them already, before they're caught, before they're arrested, before anything. I don't think you could stop the investigations. Could go on, especially with Fauci. I mean, you know, he's Italian. I'm ashamed of him.
Yeah.
Money made you, millions of people died with those fucking shots.
The sociopath.
And you lied over and over and over again for money. It's not like you got a stolen car and you did this, or you even robbed a bank. Who gives a fuck? You cheated on your tax returns. Who cares? You poisoned millions of fucking people and you knew it. And people are accusing you, and now it's starting to come out, and your man gave you a pardon. Wow. Wow. Unbelievable. All right, guys, I gotta go. Adios. Talk to you soon.